criminals in this world appear and break the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear, the cry goes up both far and near for underdog, 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 underdog. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who love or plunder. Underdog, when in this world the headlines read of those whose hearts are filled with greed, who rob and steal from those who need to right this wrong with blinding speed, goes underdog, 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 underdog. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who rob or plunder. Underdog, when criminals in this world appear and break the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear, the cry goes up both far and near for underdog, 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 underdog. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who rob or plunder. Underdog, underdog, underdog.
One of the city's most humble and lovable characters was Shoeshine Boy.
All finished, sir.
Thanks, Shoeshine Boy. You're humble and lovable.
Bless you, sir.
Little did anyone know that whenever there was a call for help,
Help! Help! Help!
Shoeshine Boy became, in real life, underdog.
Gee, no more Thanksgiving.
If only Underdog were here.
Be sure to see Underdog right after the Thanksgiving Day parade on this station.
Well, let's go then. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Lorenzo, and this is Felix, and we're here today to do the Wednesday New Comic Book Day live stream show, which is brought to you every week by the Alternative City Shop. The Alternative City Shop is where you'll find comic books, t-shirts, and some one-of-a-kind artwork by yours truly. There are indie and superhero mystery boxes filled with comics from my collection. There are also pins and pocket mirrors made from images cut from superhero comic books. There is no YouTube sponsorships or Patreon for this show, so if you want to show your support, this is how you do it. That's for sure. And that opening we saw was a variety of Underdog opening theme songs, featuring a little scene there with Shoeshine Boy. Thank you, Shoeshine Boy. You're humble and lovable. Bless you, sir. Yeah, but Shoeshine Boy ain't no fool. He's still gonna bite that quarter to see if it's a real thing, though. So I may be humble and lovable, but I'm no fool. So anyway, Shoeshine Boy, Underdog, all that stuff is good. Who's just chilling in the background right there. So hope you guys are doing great on this new comic book day. Don't have any controversial things to talk about this week, unfortunately. Sorry. Maybe next time, because I want to talk about something that's pretty near and dear to this channel, actually. So we'll get that going after I shout out the chat. Good evening, chat. This is my guy, TN Comics Plus. What's happening? Hey, good to see you, buddy. See what books you missed. Well, I missed last week, but I got stuff from last week, and I got some stuff from this week. So we'll see. Some stuff from this week I didn't get because I knew I got it coming next month from my comic shop, but I still dropped a hefty amount on books. We'll talk about that later. What's up, Dan? Good to see you, sir. Yo, 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 baby, yo, baby, yo. Is that finally read issue number 1 of the Destruction Be Our Lot. Yeah, Destruction Be Our Lot. Good book. I hope you liked it. And 80s guy. What's happening, 80s guy? Good to see you, buddy. On down the list. And the lovely Janet, of course. My partner in life and in crime. And then there's Mitchell. What's happening? Let me get the Nectar number 3. Innards. Yeah, I got to get innards still. Fryer and a Coke. You got it. That sounds like a good order right there. That's good eating. And Space Case. What's up? Hello to everyone. What you talking about? Everybody. All right. All right. Mitchell saying cheers, everyone. What? Who's this? The real Phil Da Vinci. Don't get it twisted with no others. This is the real one right here. Welcome. Let me switch. Let me switch names. You don't have to. You can be any name you want. Swords Forge. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. And who's this? I was making those things bigger at one point. I can make them bigger so I can read them better. My eyesight's failing me. I can't read them as much. PH Media. Okay. 901, welcome. And coming down to the end here of the current list. I'm spitting hot fire. Spitting, hey, it's all good. Spitting truth is what I have to say. Welcome all. Welcome one. Welcome all. Yeah. So it worked out. Phil had some things he had to take care of. Phil, shout out, brother. I hope you're feeling well, and I hope your family's doing okay. So me and Felix are going to hold it down this week, and that's no problem. I wanted to talk about, man. It's like something that's been kind of brewing in our household for quite some time now. We've been discussing, like, based on for the last 10 years. We've been in Washington State for the last 10 years. It's our 10th anniversary this year of being here, and it's been such a man. We moved from Chicago, where Janet had lived for a long time, and where I had lived most of my adult life. When I was not in that hellhole in the South that we won't mention right now, but most of my life was spent in Chicago. And we moved here in 2016. And man, it's just been so amazing. I figure that this is a place where, I don't know about Janet, because she's a traveler. She's a woman of the world, and she's been places and seen things and stuff like that. Whereas Patty has only seen the sights of Girl Can See from Brooklyn Heights. That's me. I haven't been a lot of places. I've been to Canada, and that's my only foreign country I've ever been to, pretty much. But I figured that we would be moving here, and this is it. This is a place where I'm just gonna live out the rest of my life. If Janet wants to move on after I'm gone, God bless. I'm a little older than she is, so I wish her well, that after I'm no longer here. So, but I figured this is it for me. I'm not, I was tentative because getting rid of our stuff to move when we moved from Chicago, we had 6 weeks, and it was stressful for her and me, especially for me. in a different way. And the fact that I had to just get rid of all my belongings, man. It's like, everything you've accumulated in 50 some odd years is got to be either, if it can't fit in our minivan or be shipped at a reasonable price, gone. You got to get rid of it, give it away, sell it, whatever you want to do with it. So I figured like, okay, this one time, we got 6 weeks to do it. And it kind of taught me a lesson in materialism where I just didn't, I was holding on to a lot of stuff for way too long. Some stuff I was hanging on to, I was glad to give it away. I had art supplies that I knew I was never going to use. I worked at a couple of art stores where we would just get free stuff, and I would say, well, one day I might use, tempera paint to do something with, good and goddamn well, I'm not going to use any that shitty paint, If I use some paint, I got some really good paint, I'm going to use that stuff first. So I just kept all of my favorite art supplies and all of my favorite things and the little tiny amount of stuff that I kept and got rid of everything else one way or another. And it felt good to give stuff to people I gave stuff to people who were like volunteering and doing projects for kids and stuff. Oh, we can use this in our project. And that felt great. I didn't get, just some things, you don't need to get money for it to feel good about giving things away. Like, great, I just want someone to use it. Somebody's going to use this thing. And, so that felt good. But, after that experience and coming here and finally getting, we rented for a couple of years. And after that, we were fortunate enough to be able to buy a home, and that was like 2 years in. So we've been in our own home since 2018, late 2018, I want to say. So I figured this is it. I'm subscribing to comic books now. I was afraid to buy more stuff because I have to move it again. Well, I can just let loose and just, get the stuff that I've always wanted, and those figures and books and stuff like that, little bookshelves full of trades and stuff like that. And then shit happened. And I don't have to go into the kind of shit that I'm talking about. You know exactly what kind of shit I'm talking about, because those that know, and those that don't know no better. So shit happens, and now we're going to have to make another move. And this move is going to be much more substantial, and it's going to be to another country. And we have not decided yet, but it's been narrowed down to a few finalists. And some of those finalists are, they offer certain things that we will not get here no matter what party is in charge, at least not for the foreseeable future, because we've been convinced that it's un-American to get things that are your God-given right, like, I don't know, shit, healthcare. Who says you should be happy to pay for your healthcare and necessarily, goddammit, die from not having it, and then you just die with a salute and a flag on your fucking coffin or something. Like we just don't believe that shit. So we've been convinced about this stuff. So even if things do change in the near future, which iffy kind of a thing too, because shit has been going so south lately. It's going to take decades to get things straight again. Even if things do change in our lifetime, in my lifetime in particular. I mean, I'm on a fixed income. I on Social Security. I get Medicare. I get 80% of my bills, of my doctor bills are paid. 80-ish. 80-ish. I say that because it's not, it's the whole system is a racket. So, sometimes it's 80%, sometimes it's 60%. It depends on how we feel like charging today. But, most of it's paid for, but sometimes that other 20% or whatever can be, pretty substantial. And Janet is a self-employed person, and she's not going to have, it's going to be years before if there is still Medicare or Social Security left, let these fucking, corporatists who want to take everything away from us have their way. That might not even be that there for people in the future. Who knows? And so going somewhere else where they offer healthcare to their people and to foreigners is something that we've had to consider. And so that's the decision we had to make. So long story short, way, way, way too late. I know y'all didn't tune in for this, but you're welcome. Just going to just lay it all out for you and just let you know that where we're coming from and why this is going to happen. So within a year, we're projecting a year and maybe a few months, give or take, more or less. We will be moving to another location, and there are some finalists. There's a list of, I want to say, 2 to 3 finalists that we've got down to, and yeah, so there. We're just gonna be figuring out what that's gonna be, and yeah, and we're gonna be moving to that place very soon. The space case. You just married an indie mystery bag, did you, from the Alternative City shop? Well, I'm gonna hook you up, Space Case. You did it at the right time. Yeah, I'm gonna hook you up. I usually do that anyway, as much as I can, but yeah, right now is the time where I will need to be, which brings to my whole point in this story, is that I'm gonna have to. I mean, we are gonna have to, like, not the least of which is to sell the house, the biggest thing, and our cars and everything, that we really can't carry on luggage because shipping to somewhere across the pond is going to be crazy. Then you got customs. Custom people got their hands out. Your ship may or may not make it. You may have to pay some crazy duty, to get it in or something like that. So why bring all that shit with you or try? So you have to leave all that stuff behind, and including the thousands of comic books. And so I'm doing this. The irony is that I guess the universe is teaching me, you know what? Don't be so damn materialistic. So I just have to, like, get rid of like 98%, if not more, 99% of these books that I have, because there's so damn many of them. I brought some with me from Chicago because I was able to ship a lot cheaper from Midwest to the West Coast than it would be to cross any body of water. But that's all going to be staying here. I don't know what I'm going to be able to keep. And we'll see. And I don't know what the situation is going to be like wherever we land, as far as it's not going to be the same situation, that's for sure. As far as LCSs go, maybe my comic shop ships worldwide. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Probably someplace that they don't go. It won't be Australia. That's for damn sure. That's one place we're not going is Australia. So that's the farthest place away. But there's some places that still cost a lot to ship things to. So what's going to happen is, us are going to be. We're just going to be. Yeah, I hope so, man. I mean, maybe they do. I mean, it's a global village now. I guess it can be done. If the price, it can be yours if the price is right. So anything could be done for the right amount of money. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just have it shipped every 6 months rather than every month after that. If that's the case, if they can do it. But anyway, I ain't gonna be able to take a lot of this stuff with me. So most of it's going to be, yeah, well, that's nice. I appreciate you. Yeah, but if it's, I don't know. It depends on where it's going to. So hey, this guy, 1987, I moved to New York City from Toronto. USA Customs took all my comic books I had in my suitcase. Wow. Crossed on Amtrak. I was 15. Holy shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Those fuckers at the border, what country you go into? It's the American customers, or maybe the Canadian customers who did it there. Probably American, because you're coming in. And they got their hands out, and they're like, they're unsupervised and unmonitored. They can do whatever the fuck they want. So if something coming in, I can charge you a lot of money for it. I can just take it. So it's just stuff that, I guess most stuff that I can't carry, and stuff that I will think will draw too much attention is it'd be worth it to just like buy it again. It's just stuff. I mean, it's stuff that you work hard for, and it's important in your life in some degree, but it can usually be replaced. Nothing is, unless it has sentimental value, of course. But not a lot of stuff that I have is like that. Most stuff I have is pretty functional, unless it's a comic book that does have sentimental value. But a handful of them are probably going to make it with me. it'll be enough. Of course. I mean, that's the main thing. But I'm not belittling that, but it's still, Jenna's not a person that has any ties to any physical thing whatsoever, which is an admirable thing. I wish I was more like that. I'm getting less and less like that, but it still requires some degree of acceptance. I'm in the acceptance phase right now. We've been talking about this for a long time. I mean, not for me, would have been gone. Been gone. I mean, it's like, I'm the only thing that's holding us here is that. But where was I going with this? Basically, just not to be materialistic and just let the things go. And it's the acceptance phase for me right now is that, you know what? This is what's going to have to happen. This is what's going to have to happen because at the very least, it's important that, your health is taken care of, or our health is taken care of. So, I've just been denying that. No, all these thousands of comic books that I've acquired, I'll somehow be able to ship most of those with me, or maybe we'll drive to our there's no fucking place we can drive, not even Mexico, not even Canada. It's as this guy just said, Canada, they got customs people everywhere, man. I mean, you cross the border with all this. Oh, whoa, what's all this shit? Let's go through this. What we can, what we want. First of all, off the top, So it's best to just go through with, little or nothing, because those people are, they're there to do whatever they want, and they're there to allegedly do their job and keep their country safe from things coming in. But humans being humans got a human, man. Humans going, this is some shit. I mean, nobody looking over my shoulder. I can just take this shit, dude. That. So anywho, I just wanted to go over that because I had to. I knew I had to come to grips with it, and the first person I talked about it with was Frank at the Danger Room, because at Danger Room, not the Danger Room, where even though I'll be giving away / selling / setting on fire all these fucking books that I've got, in a year or less, I nonetheless dropped a C note on the new comic books today. So there's that. So God help me. I'm still buying new books. I did my last FOC from my comic shop, in which I ordered one book. That was this last week, and it was definitely a tearful moment as an era came to an end. So we'll, that was the acceptance for that part. Now I got to tell my local dealer and Gabby eventually, where I have a slight couple books pulling from them too, that this is it. I'm not going to be able to, at some point, I'm just going to drop it. I'm not going to add anything else, and then end up dropping the things that some things, and I'll probably collect absolutes until the end, because the absolutes will be able to get rid of those easily. There's nobody saying, no, I don't want an absolute. I don't want the hottest book in the world. So I'll probably still be pulling that till the end. But everything else, I'm not going to pull anything else. I'm not going to sub to anything new. I may pick up some stuff here and there, but I'm picking up with the mind of, okay, yeah, this is going to be liquidated along with everything else. Just go to another mystery box to save you on shipping. Wow. Oh, thanks, man. The finalists? Well, there was a few. Surprisingly, I mean, my first choice was Canada, because obviously, close. You can literally drive there. I mean, we're a few miles away. We could vacation there if we wanted to and come right back. Well, coming back might be hard, but Canada's not taking any more. Canada does not want you. Canada does not want us. Canada does not want any Americans unless you are in the healthcare industry. If you're in the healthcare industry, we can talk. If you're not, stay your Yankee ass at home. They want nothing to do with Americans. I guess you can't blame them, given our record. Uh, Mexico was a thought. Mexico was a thought. I mean, you could literally drive to Mexico, but who the fuck wants to be driving around, the Baja or some shit, the Badlands to get to where you're going. The city might be like, 600 miles down, in the center of the country. So that won't be a drivable thing. But it was it's not a terrible place. Mexico is close by and some things. Thailand is on the list, going, on the far end of the world there into Asia. There's a lot of Asian opportunities out there. Thailand, Cambodia is not out of the question. Vietnam is not the place it used to be. Not your father's Vietnam. It's a new Vietnam these days. There's some new places. Europe, not so much. For various reasons. Costa Rica is on the list. There's some things. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene just moving to Costa Rica. What does that tell you right there? She knows some shit is going down. Marge is like, later, suckers. I've been vacationing down here for a long time. Marge is now a Costa Rican. Man, don't say shit can't happen. Hey, PH me the PH. For me, I'm PH media or for media as it's pronounced possibly. It can be so depressing to detach from everything. I feel it's better to be passionate about something, some kind of hobby or skill or whatever. I hear you. Bless you. You're worth the wait too, sweetie. Mitchell, I lost everything before in a move. It's actually kind of freeing when you realize it's just stuff, especially when you got just the people you care about around you. That's it right there. That says it. I mean, sometimes through some event in life, you lose all your material possessions, and it can be, it's obviously catastrophic. And at the same time, like you said, it's freeing because damn, we're in this society where we're just trained without even thinking to just consume, buy shit that's going to make you feel better. Oh, you deserve to treat yourself to this thing today because you've had a shitty day at your shitty job and go ahead and buy some stuff, get further in debt. So this is just something that we do and our stuff comforts us to some degree, but after a while, this shit starts piling up. There's all this stuff, man. What's this stuff going to go? And the thing too with comics in particular, I know I see people talking about. There's lots of content out there about how new comics aren't worth anything. How only certain keys are the way to go. I'm going to get rid of my collection of new comics and just start collecting Amazing Spider-Man or some other can't miss blue chip book or something like that. Let's take the safe route. That's what I'm going to do. So who's buying all these goddamn books? And to the further reason, where are these books going to go? What are we supposed to do with all these books? I mean, I love Frank and Gabby. And in Chicago, I didn't really get close with a lot of my LCS owners. It's a big city. They it's a lot of people coming in and out. They get close to some people. Some people just like, hey, I know you. It's not that much of a a bond. But here in a small town where it's only 2 shops in town, you get to know those people and you care about them, and you get to the point where you feel like you want to, even though you do love this hobby, you love collecting, you love reading, but you feel like you're kind of obligated to keep buying more and more of these $5, $3, $4, $5, $10 books, every week, so that this place can stay in existence. In the meanwhile, the stock is growing. What you supposed to do with all these books that nobody wants to buy? Nobody talks about it, cares about that. We talk about like, oh, these books, not going to be worth anything. What the hell are we supposed to do with them then? Who's going to buy them? They just end up either, donated or sold for, that's where quarter bins and dollar bins come in. You stuff that you paid full price for in dollar bins and, all the time, what is that? Things from another world used to have the dollars. Some other stores have dollar sales all the time. Stuff that they were selling for full price a few months ago. Now, you got to get rid of. You got to move inventory. So I'm at the point now where I need to move inventory, and there's not a lot of. If there are, I don't know where they are. There's not a lot of places around here in this part of the country where we are, where there's like flea markets. I mean, Chicago, Midwest, there was flea markets everywhere. Flea markets, yeah, baby. That's what the empty parking lot is for. You have that people get together and that they bring tables, they bring tents or whatever the hell they got on a Saturday. They have a flea market, they sell their shit, and then by the end of the day, it's gone like it was never there. I don't see that here. I don't see a lot of that here at all. It's not a thing. There's some brick and mortars who call themselves flea markets, but you're not a flea market. You're a shop. You're a brick and mortar store. It's not the same thing at all. And these things allow people to be more free with their sales. You can just sell anything you want at the flea market. So I got to seek those things out. Online sales, more, I guess, mystery boxes and shit like that. So, man, something's got to happen. Something happen. It's got to go somewhere. And the first step is to cut off the flow. And I've cut off the flow from my comic shop. It's still going to keep coming in for a few months because I pre-ordered stuff, obviously, since 2 months ago. So there's at least 2 more months of stuff trickling in, probably 2, 3, 4 months of stuff. Not a whole lot, but some stuff. My few things I've already got sub to on the local LCSs. They're going to still continue to come in. I'm probably drop a few of them. I'm subscribed to mostly limited series, so they will come to an end at some point. Which is, I love limited series, because once that 5th issue of that best of that 5-issue series is done, you're done with that. So at some point, I will be pretty much down to nothing but the absolutes, and maybe what other? There's no other ongoing series I'm subscribed to. Everything else is indie short series. So yeah, there's that. So I've been here long enough about that. I just had to get that out. This is like confession day for me. I told Frank today, get around to telling Gabby eventually. Hey, Dan, we were coming back across the border one time after a concert in Ontario. In Detroit, Canadian Customs asked my friend, "Do you have anything to declare?" He was like, "I declare I did not steal. I did not steal any syrup." Yeah, I declare that I hate having to say if I declared something. That's what I declare. Lorenzo and Janet gonna move and outlive all of us. Well, I don't know about that, T. I don't know. You see, yeah, they get that help. Yeah, man, that's what it is. And we've been convinced that we don't deserve it somehow, or that I'd rather not have it if those people I don't like also get it and they're undeserving. God knows. I'd rather just live off my patriotism, says an idiot. Says me, give away all your possessions and become a Buddha. How about I smoke some Buddha and then I forget what my possessions are? Something like that. I have an uncle living in Queens, says 80s guy. Has his landed papers for Canada. So he goes to Toronto for all of his medical care. That's nice. That's nice. Man, right off the see, it's cool that Toronto is so close to New York City too. That's awesome. If there was some option for us to do that, I mean, the closest place we could go, I don't think Canada would let that happen. I don't know, but probably not. I mean, it'd be a pain in the ass to keep going back and forth, especially with something bad. Perish your thought. And he says most governments are becoming quite tyrannical. It's except maybe some Asian countries. I can't remember which. Yes, yes, that's why there's several Asian countries on that list. Asian countries, even though they might be under the thumb of China, China takes care of their shit. And a lot of those Asian countries take care of their shit too. So there's that. Said Dan, when our president tries to make them the 51st state, I would be hostile as that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I mean, it's on the list, 80s guy. It is on the list. And of course, I left out the fact that Thailand has medical marijuana. I think maybe, if not medical, they definitely have medical or I think medical or recreational, one of the two. And I think it's accessible. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go I lived so long to get away from prohibition states, as soon as I move out of Illinois, it becomes a legal state. So as soon as we leave here, they're probably, in a last ditch effort to garner favor, Trump legalizes. Like he doesn't give a fuck about your favor. You'll never do that. Who am I kidding? Just kidding. Lots of videos on the tube of you, the tube of expats living in South Asia. Cheap. That's right. Says a 400-pound canary. Cheap, baby. That's what we're looking for. Good point. Hey, what's up there, my friend Mike DeBradley? I don't know if you caught the announcement about us moving, but you can catch you on the replay. Won't happen for a little bit. That's for sure. A Midwest. Oh yeah. That's a Midwest thing for sure. That's good things everywhere. And the bad thing is about they don't have any of that here. It's like we got to wait for like a damn comic show to maybe sell some stuff, which is ridiculous because you got to pay an admission fee. My friend sells cassettes at his flea market stall. Hey, man, flea markets are the bomb. I don't know. It didn't cross the Mississippi. The idea for flea market, it's an undiscovered thing. There's no Lewis and Clark bringing the flea market to the other side of the country. What the hell, West Coast? Why is that not a thing? Maybe, man. Once I finally, get that final list down, I probably will. I'm gonna try to bring them in on my luggage and see how that works. Mitchell, my LCS is how I relive the nostalgic human interaction feeling of Pizza Hut and Blockbuster on Friday night. It's kind of how I cling onto that feeling. Yeah. It's a huge thing. And I'm going to miss that, because there's be no equivalent of that wherever we go. I'm going to be probably much more online that's definitely a given. I will be online trying to get my comic book thrills through you guys at some point. Oh, damn, it's legal. Okay, that'd be nice. It's legal. It's even more better. A lot of stuff is legal. Some stuff that I don't fuck with is also legal in Thailand, but to each their own. Because I want to know what books you are 100%. Oh, okay. Well, dude, a lot of them that 100% do not take will probably end up in your hands. I'm just telling you right now. Hope you got plenty of room. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Yeah, man. It's still sinking in, and it's still something that I'm coming to grips with. But like I said, I'm in acceptance now. I see that. It's gonna, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. I mean, it's like Thanos. I'm inevitable. It's just gonna happen, baby. It's going to fucking happen because, even if Orange is dead and in hell, it's still gonna be somebody else who's building a fucking data center in your backyard, and that sucker's got billions of dollars to back him up, and he's been given the green light, and they're building that shit like there's no tomorrow. Like, oh, now's our chance. Now it's not, because once you get them built, baby, they're built. You can't tear them down. I mean, you can tear them down, but good luck with all of that. All those concrete edifices and shit like that. So man, we're not out of here yet, but the plans are in motion to go. And man, there's things I'm going to miss and things I'm not going to miss. But anyways, we'll talk about that when that time happens. As Senator Ted Kennedy would say, we will drive off that bridge when we come to it. Now, I'm going to tell you what we got, what I got, I should say, from the comic shop, from Danger Room. And this week, did not get Royals #1 when it came out for some reason. Like I said, I bought 2 copies of #2 from my comic shop. I don't know what I was doing. I assumed I already had this issue, which is #1. This is the B cover of #1, actually. And I had this thing looking more, this bright color still don't look so great. It's looking better earlier. This is the B cover of #1. And this is the second printing of #1 for Royals. So I've heard a lot of good things about this. Can't wait to read it and sell and or give it away. All right. Nectar #3, we're talking about earlier in the chat. Nectar has been good. Sweetest thing in life. New this week in the Absolute Universe. Absolute Green Arrow. This is the A cover. And if you're reading the Absolute Universe, you know, spoiler, that Absolute Green Arrow was actually killed in one of those key books. I won't mention which one that is. If you get that key book, you know what I'm talking about. So we'll see what this like a prequel or the mantle of Green Arrow being taken up by someone else, which I wouldn't be surprised in this world. This is a book. It has amazing art, but in Frank's words, it looks like a big dumb action movie. So it's very thick and full with amazing art. So I can find one page of it here. Yeah, here it is. And it's in the Bad Idea tradition, but it's Matt Kent behind it. So I got to give it a chance. You know, Frank's a pretty harsh critic. I mean, I guess if you own a store, you know, you go through a lot of books. You read a lot of books, and it's like, yeah, just like the last one and the last one and the last one. So he's a tougher critic than I am. This one looks like it definitely has like a million covers. See what's any good on the inside. With Matt Kent writing it, I can't bet against it. And looks like I got Dork #4, and I was looked up on a Scotty Young B cover for Dork #4. Dork is still amazing. I'm about halfway done with a Dork sketch cover for the store. I'll put that up hopefully by next week. I got some good work done on it this Monday in our Monday coffee shop thing that we do every week now, which is amazing. I can't believe you weren't doing that before. Siktik, #47. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, maybe, of course, they're milking this out to coincide with the concurrent book, which is going on right now, The Fall of the House of Slaughter. The old dragon is dying, and that's going to be a big event. Finally, another big. There's been a lot of big events. There's been a lot of. I do love the book, and it has some great stories in there. This has been kind of like treading water for a long time because, you know, Tynion's got a lot of shit going on. I mean, you can't blame the man for being successful, but you know, he's stretching out his flagship book and relying on the loyalty of its readers to keep it afloat. Kaito, #3 of 5, the modern version of Shige Yojimbo, his descendant, the last work of MD Doc Bright, The Center Holds. I'm still not quite sure what the hell that name means. You know, I think this name has hurt this book as much as anything. Really, that's the name y'all came up with? I mean, it could have been it's a new universe book. This is gonna be hard to get people. Oh, great, another new universe. But it's been all right. but it's that name I think might be a little off-putting. I could be wrong. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let's see. What up, Mojito? Did you miss me? From that Martin episode. Tommy Davidson. Did you miss me? What's up, brother? We missed you terribly. This is Dan. One of our favorite drum and bass DJs from the UK lives on a houseboat in Thailand. He comes into shore when he goes on tour and then goes back on the boat when he comes back. He must be like living for like damn near free. If he's living on a boat in Thailand and he's making his money and then he comes back in, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Man, they try to turn being homeless into a crime here so they can put you in a for-profit prison and get work out of you and get money out of you. Man, that's so dark. The same people who are doing that could end hunger and homelessness with their billions, but that's another story. This is Narco #3, the Alfred Hitchcock inspired cover. Which movie is this? Is it? I'm not sure which movie this is. I'm not that much of a. I have to put it into Google. Maybe ask one of my incredibly smart chat mates out there which movie this is. They're homaging. Homogenizing. Racer X. This might be the penultimate issue of Racer X, which has been a great Mark Russell book. A good writer can turn any story into a good story. This is, Speed Racer's brother, written by the highly, I think, somewhat to some degree underrated Mark Russell. So I got his. I'm gonna read his dog tag book. I haven't read that yet. Oh my God. Oh man, I Conquest is coming, and I guess there's no secret. It looks like they've already had spoiler covers. Like, ooh, who's this big son of a bitch flying at Battle Beast? Oh, gee, it couldn't be Conquest, could it? Because he's on the cover of several other books that are already out there. Yes, it is definitely Conquest. So, man, Battle Beast is in. I know he doesn't die this time, but I mean, it's man, this is the Conquest is only force I would hate to face in the universe worse than Battle Beast would be Conquest. So Omni-Man is pretty bad too, but still. Dead Teenagers #3. I think I apparently, according to Frank, I bought #2, but I don't know if I read it. I think I've read it. If not, I got to go back and look for it again. I know what happens in it. I think so. Maybe I kind of remember reading it, but not really. It's #3. I did not get the Clueless variant. Arcadia, which I'm a little behind on, but is an amazing series by the Miranda brothers, and is super duper colorful. World Tree. I don't know if it's coming. It's got to be ending at some point. I'm a few issues behind on this. This is another tiny thing. It's #20. Cover A. Still a good book though. That's how I caught up with it. Still amazing. I'm gonna Tigress Island #3. I know I read that. I read #2 of that. Frank picked out the cover C for me, which is, well, not been my choice, but hey, whatever. By the time you get to the 3rd issue of a book, I don't really care about the covers as much, because the cover A of book A is the one that's going to blow up the most. Keep that in mind when you're selling your collection with indies. And Absolute Batman #20. From last week, probably. Yeah, I think it's from last week, because I didn't go last week. And of course, like every other book, every other issue, apparently, they all came in with some degree of damage. So the pressers, the pressers, and all the people that are fixing books who do that for a living, they're just like running around like busy beavers right now, trying to fix all the issues of this book because it's I think the first issue of the appearance of the Robins, I want to say, and everybody has got some flaws on it. So there's going to be, if you get a 9.8, then you have earned your 9.8 because you definitely pressed that shit clean. Comic Tom said he personally pressed all of his copies that he's sold to his customers. So that's the kind of dedication I like in a comic book dealer. This is the 1 in 10 for Tynian's new joint that he's doing with who's this person? Bennett, Marguerite Bennett, I think, and Carlinici, and it is called, of course, Odin. The 1 in 10. This looks like a guy from the Department of Truth. I think it is. I think it's the Department of Truth guy. Who's that fucking guy? You know what I'm talking about. That guy from the Department of Truth. The cover artist looks very cool, and of course Frank puts his in like this, so you can see the front and back of these 1 in 10 books, these special books here. Got it for a very decent deal. This one's a little bit more. I want this one only because it's the last issue. Is this the last issue? This is number 12. Oh, I thought it was number 13. My bad. Oh well. Any hoozle. This is issue number 12 of Exquisite Corpses. Number 12. If I would pay attention to my own list my own curated list that I prepared for today, I would know that number 12 is the most recent issue. But I forgot all about that. And because this one was also a 1 in 10, who's the cover artist on this one? Chris Burnham, I want to say. Chris Burnham and Brian Reber. I don't know their work, but this 1 in 10 for Battle Beast number 9 is pretty sick. So I kind of wanted to just own this one, at least for a short time. And it looks good. And it's my guy, Battle Beast getting fucked up and Conquest getting fucked up. I mean, my God, yeah, it's just something. That's just something. So that's what I picked up. There's that. All these books, somehow I'm going to have to deal with getting rid of them at some point, but I won't dwell on that right now because I'm in the acceptance phase and I've accepted it, and that's all I have to say about that. All right, so let's move on. Let's see. Dan says, I read the first issue of Dog Tag. It was definitely a setup issue introducing the main character, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. Okay, so I thought it was a one-shot. Okay, it's going to be a series. I'm not going to be able to follow that then. I'll read the first issue. Yeah, even every time I hear the Central Holes, I think of Justice League New Frontier. Really? Huh, I missed that. And he says, Odin is a spinoff of Exquisite Corpses. Really? No kidding. Ain't that interesting? I didn't know that. I almost got Odin, says Mitchell. I picked it up and put it back down 2 or 3 times. I did the same thing with Zorro by Howard Chaykin. I like Howard Chaykin's work a lot, like some of his more like, raunchy stuff, like Black Kiss and Black Kiss Returns and all that stuff. And even other things he's done in older days, American Flag. I was like, should I get this? It's another Zorro book, but man, I really like this. They look great. The art looked great. I haven't seen Chaykin draw like that in a long. I think maybe he didn't draw it. Maybe he wrote it. I mean, he's one of those guys that doesn't. He's moved on to the being a writer where the big money is now. He doesn't draw as much as he used to, but maybe that's what it was. Never mind. Looks like okay. Never mind. Looks like an ash can His flip book with Rascal. Okay. Rascal Randy. Okay. Well, Rascal Randy. Rascal Randy is going to have his own spinoff too. And Exquisite Corpse's Kickstarter is almost 175K. Good Lord. I'm sure there's like many multiples of what he set out for. You know, I mean, guys like that don't have any trouble raising money. You know, you already got an amazing property. You know, people just like, here, take my money. You know, some of us are struggling out here. You can't get can't meet a $500, minimum. But hey, James Tynion, anybody else who does great content like that, it's not their fault that they're great. Not a problem. All right, so let's do the what's good. Right at the top of the hour. Oh, how perfect. Sure, all the radio stations do all their their network channel calls and all that stuff. So top of the hour, you're listening to KOX here in Chicago. And we're back. Hey. After a short commercial break. All right, the first thing we're going to do in What's Good is take a swig of tea. Larry Love, shout out. I'm doing a double-fisted matcha today. Hot matcha and cold matcha. How you like me now? I'm going to be so keyed up, I'll never sleep tonight. All right. First one we want to talk about is kind of an odd book, literally. The Oddballs Odyssey by Tony Millionaire. This is the 1010. It's a mercy. It's blinding to get it that close. I mean, I'll just put it back here. The Oddballs Odyssey. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? The Oddballs Odyssey. This is the 1010 cover with the Hergé illustration of Tintin, his character on there. There's like 4 others, which I bought all of them. Lord help me. I bought all 4 of them. And he talks about how he loves Tony Millionaire, alias Tony Millionaire. This is like his alias. His nom de plume. And he says when he was a kid, he used to go through the newspapers, old newspapers, and just dig out the Sunday funnies. And that was his main thing that he loved, was not so much as comic books as Sunday newspapers. And that's pretty much shown in his style. His style is very much like a Sunday comic strip. And of course, it's printed on newsprint because, of course, because that's what the Sunday funnies are printed on. And I remember smelling the Sunday funnies every week. Like, oh, wow. This is like a special treat in the newspaper. I just fish it right out. Forget about the politics and sports and all that stuff. Give me that Sunday Sunday funnies. And so this is kind of I guess a tribute to that. And if you look at the worlds of like Winsor McKay, which is one of the cover artists that he also homaged in his covers. He just put their actual artwork, their actual original art, like he did with Tintin here on the cover. This Winsor McKay, Adventures in Slumberland, Little Nemo. This gives you that same kind of a feel. And it features 2 of his characters. One of them is the sock monkey and his friend Jimmy the skunk. Bobby is the sock monkey and Jimmy is the skunk. And they're both a couple of raging alcoholics. And they're just, going through life as much as a skunk and a sock monkey need to do. Was that Mitch? I'm walking around with I'm walking around with Of the Earth and Odin pacing the shelves like like a damn cheezel. Yeah, I mean, well, Of the Earth, I think I may have pre-ordered that one. I think I picked up Odin today, so it's all good. A deck is $20. That's not a lot at all. Yeah, I've been buying all these special issues that the cards are coming in, and the cards aren't that special. I could just wait and bought a deck for $20. Yeah, like I did with Mark Spears. You know, I got a bunch of his cards and stuff, like about the same price, more or less. I just rewatched the Tintin cartoon and loved. I really, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know much about Tintin when he first came. You know, when I first was a kid. I mean, it's been around for like, my God, you know, since the 40s. I want to say 30s, 40s. And I used to have a Tintin cartoon that would come on this show in Chicago called Garfield Goose and Friends. And I was like, who the fuck is Tintin? But it's pretty cool. He's like an adventurer. He went to space, went all over the world and shit like that. So yeah, Tintin is fun. But Jimmy and Bobby, you know, Bobby quits drinking. Bobby, you know, he throws away his whiskey and he says, "Jimmy, I'm off the sauce." And Jimmy says, "Screw you! I'm stop being an alcoholophobe. I'm not giving up nothing." And Jimmy runs off and goes on a bender. And then Jimmy is, Bobby says, like, "Oh, Jimmy, you don't be like that. We still be friends." And then what happens is Bobby ends up, Jimmy the skunk. It's so hard. I call him the skunk and the monkey because it's just, nobody knows who the hell Jimmy and Bobby are. The skunk goes off and drinks himself to death. He drinks himself to death. And then through the true magic of cartoons, Jimmy comes back. The skunk comes back to life again. So there you go. You know, thank God for cartoons, right? I mean, you can be dead and then, like, "Jimmy, don't be dead." "Okay, I'm not dead anymore." He's back. So now through the magic of cartoons, the skunk also quits drinking. So, and then they start to have this awakening, and they decide to just go on this journey, this odyssey, if you will. And it's not really a lot of plot to it. I guess that's the fantasy element he wanted to kind of leave in, the innocent, no real like guidelines being laid out in this book, but the intense artwork here is pretty amazing. I mean, this guy is a master cartoonist. I mean, he's a damn good cartoonist. This Tony Millionaire guy. Give credit where it's due. I mean, he's really good. This character used to be in a strip called Mackey's, and a lot of independent comic strips or newspapers around the world, around the country and shit. So basically, they go on this adventure, and the monkey falls in love with this swan. You can see him like fawning after the swan there. You know, he wants to like convince her to be his lady love. In the meantime, you know, the lady love swan is not that impressed with him. She's just kind of like, whatever. After he brings the skunk back to life, okay, you know what? We gotta continue our quest. They're running into like this like minotaur type of looking character that flies around and harasses them from time to time. They're trying to avoid that guy. And there's some of the intense line work that he does on drawing those guys. It is really not a whole lot other than just like, let's just use this medium to have fun with it. I mean, it's just not like, you know, anything that's kept me riveted, but it's just, look at that line work. You know, the line work is so nice. You know, it's more that kind of a deal. It's not like this is something written that's going to be a great classic, and you know, in some years for the, you know, the dialogue or for the plot. That's not what it's about. And basically, the swan she's not impressed with him, and she doesn't, you know, really acquiesce to his feelings until he performs an act of kindness involving the skunk. And it just comes out of nowhere at the end, but it's very cool. You know, if you're looking for something and you got $8 to spend, you might not want to spend it on this if it's not your cup of tea. But you know, Tony Millionaire, you're familiar with his work, this is probably something you want to have. And you don't have to buy all 4 copies like I did, but you could pick one of these, you know, pick one of these covers. This is like, I think the B cover or the C cover, whatever, and pick that one out. So, you know, if you love good cartooning, and if you know who Tony Millionaire is, and you just want to, like, you know, sniff some nice smelling newsprint, this is for you. The Oddballs Odyssey by Tony Millionaire. said Dan. It was designed as like a spy, like adventure, type. Because if you look at the 1010 comics, he's fighting like Nazis and gangsters. That's what he is. And Captain, what's his Captain Huff and Puff? That's Beanie and Cecil. I forget. He is like this captain guy. He's one of his cohorts, and his dog Snowy, the white dog that stands in the corner there. The Beast is giving me never-ending story ideas. Never-ending story vibes. Actually, yeah. The Beast is giving me never-ending story vibes. Yeah. It has a very never-ending story kind of a feel. Yeah, that kind of a fantasy. Well, you just get lost in the whole fun of it rather than just like, what was the point of this book? If you look for that, then, you're gonna hurt yourself. Next one is another one that's been out for a minute. I kind of had a good feeling about this when I saw it advertised, and it's called In Your Skin. And this is from Image Comics. Is the writer and the letterer is Aditya Bidikar. I hope that's correct. Artist is Sam, which is what they go by. They have a much longer name, but they shorted to Sam because of people like me who can't pronounce things. Sam is the artist, and it looks great. The colorist is Francesco Sigalia. His assistant, Gloria Martinelli. And designers are Dylan Todd and Courtney Menard. So, man, it's a lot of work went in this book. And it's the writer definitely for sure is a big fan of Indian culture. They are Indian, most likely, and they know a lot about the Indian culture and about the Bollywood scene, because they really kind of get deep into it, but not too deep into it where some people who don't know about it would be left out. They explain to you stuff that you might not understand. Okay, there's this woman who is her name is Priyata. Get her name right here. I think that is her name, and she's a big fan of this Bollywood star, and the Bollywood star's name is Aisha Sen. Aisha Sen is a veteran Bollywood star. She's been around for a while, and she has lots of fans. And this woman here is not just a fan; she is a fanatic, and she's a little bit crazy, to be honest. So some of those are out there, and she, the fan that is, she has a job where she just got fired from. I think she's maybe a dancer of some sort, but she tries to dance like her idol, Aisha. And it's so like, you know what, you're not Aisha, that stuff is, played out. We're into this new thing here, and whatever they're into now in Bollywood. Priyanka is her name. And so Priyanka, you're fired. You're fired. And take your shit with you and get out of here. And her boyfriend comes home and she's like, her feet are like uncomfortable. And she's like, I guess she's been dancing all day and he's rubbing her feet and she's, she's like, she likes the boyfriend, but she loves her idol even more. So she doesn't even think about the boyfriend that much. And he is kind of a shady character too. And there's a contest that Aisha is that they're giving concerning Aisha, where if you win, you get to meet Aisha and you get to have dinner with her. So of course, Priyanka is all over that shit. She's like, okay, well, of course I'm going to win. I know everything about Aisha. She goes on and she's like filling out the multiple choice question about, it's like child's play for her. But what's Aisha's favorite color? Blah, blah, blah. Where is she born? And she's just nailing it. And the boyfriend's like, well, what if I could help you win that contest? What's in it for me? So he's a transactional guy himself. And she's thinking, I don't need him. I know everything about Aisha, so I'm going to obviously win. But the boyfriend somehow has got this plan. In the meantime, Priyanka goes to have coffee with her mother. And her mother is like this typical kind of a critical mother who's nothing is good enough for you. Whatever you do, when are you going to get married? That I saw your boyfriend, he's a nice boy. Maybe if you lost some weight, he'd marry you, like, oh, God damn. I got to deal with this kind of stuff. So she deals with that. and she comes home and she's like, and her and her boyfriend started like having sex, and they started role playing of like these, she wanted him to be like you're a producer and you're making me sleep with you so I can be famous. And he's like, okay, whatever. And I was like, get to have sex. And she goes through this whole thing where she's just like, they're just doing it and role playing and talking about, like, all right, well, whatever, this helps you, feel better about yourself. So her boyfriend makes this fake pass and tells her that she has won the contest. Okay, she's among the winners. And he went to this print shop and made up a fake pass for her. And somehow he figured out how to get online and found out how to do it correctly. And so she's standing in line with everybody else, like, hey, so you're here to meet Aisha too, huh? Like, yeah, your pass was kind of funny, but before anything happens, Aisha comes out and the master of ceremony comes out and introduces Aisha, and she just goes nuts. I'm the fan, Priyanka. She's like, oh my God, she just breaks through the fucking the rope, and they have to like really snatch her away from Aisha because she just like lost control when she saw her in person. She just like lost her shit. She's chasing her down and she gets thrown out. So like, get your fake pass ass out of here and hit the streets. So she's going home and she's dejected and she spends like days, in the darkness of her home. Just like she won't answer the door for the boyfriend. He's banging on the door. I open the door. I'm gonna break it down if you don't open it up. So eventually she does open it up again. And it's been days since this has happened. So he asked her, did you see the news? Aisha is going to be retiring. She's announced her retirement. So but Priyanka's like, oh shit, now is my time. And I don't know what she does, but she finds a way to get to Aisha's trailer where she's staying. And she gets to her, and what happens after that, I'm not really sure. But it looked like maybe something supernatural or mystical happens, where the whole thing of in your skin literally takes place, where they do some kind of a body swap or something like that, but we won't really know until the next issue. So I don't want to give away too much, but that's pretty much it right there. I mean, and it's really well written and the art is great. So yeah, I have to recommend this. It looked like it was a good story when I first saw it, but now it's been confirmed. In my opinion, In Your Skin is worth picking up from Image Comics. Image Comics. If you wear her memory, you take her form. Within her, you are finally free. Deep shit. All right, that's number 2. Last book for this evening or morning, whenever you are listening, is another penultimate book called Excommunicated. This one is from Vault Comics. Vault is on the way back. God bless, Vault is hanging in there. Vault Comics, written, writer and creator is Jeremy Robinson. Tiago Palma is the artist, and Manuel J. Rodriguez is the colorist. Lettered by Jim Campbell and Kane Gilmore, editor. I'll say, yeah, this is the story of. It's pretty well explained in the synopsis. A nun is a very loyal member of the church, and she's just praying, minding her own business, and she knows that her priest, that I guess who she's a novice to, is performing an exorcist at this time. And the exorcist, the priest didn't want her around because why have anybody else around, because this is a dangerous time. So she's sitting there, or just I should say kneeling there praying, and the phone goes off like, oh, what the fuck? It's Father Madonna. Father McDonough is calling me. And Father Madonna's like, hey, where you at? Get over here now. I need you. I need you. I think it's a very important thing that's about to happen. So it affects you and everybody else. He's like in mid exorcism. It's like twisted head and spewing vomit and full thing. Everything is going on. He's in full exorcism, but he's calling her. She's like, okay, well, I'll be right there, Father, because I'm a good nun. And she, hightails it over there in a little compact car, and she gets to the address and knocks on the door, and people like, hey, get upstairs because it's going down. Whatever is going down is going down upstairs. Get up there, and the father is not going to be able to hold his own. And when she gets to the room where it's taking place, it's full blown exorcism going on. Full blown with entities and floating and blah 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 blah. Everything is empty. The guys bent over backwards like Linda Blair, and the father Bedell's like, "What you doing here?" He said, "You call me. I didn't call you." It's like the fucking demon somehow possessed the phone and had her come to the exorcism like she was going to help out. And what it was, the demon wanted her there. It wanted her there, and it called her and brought her there. So who says demons can't use modern technology, huh? So, and the father just like freaking out, and oh my God, he's I'll do my best to win this, but the father has, I guess, a heart attack or something and dies. So now Sister Josephine has got to finish this exorcism, and she doesn't, she doesn't drop the ball at all. She picks up the cross and starts exercising and so forth, and get behind me, Satan, be gone, and she somehow finishes the ritual, and she, just dramatically, just respectfully covers up the both the body of the priest and of the exorcist, the exorcism victim. But she's called before on the carpet by all the panel, all the priests on the panel of whatever they call that panel of judges. Like, yo, Sister Josephine, who told you to do this? I mean, how dare you show up? But I got called. But no, you are excommunicated forever. Be gone. Get out of here. So she gets excommunicated for something that she just, didn't, thought she was doing the right thing. The priest is like, oh, well, it sucks to be you. Here's a few parting gifts. Here's some money on your way out. Shakes her hand. And there's a limousine waiting for you over there. They're going to take you to an Airbnb where you can transition until you find somewhere to live. So off you go. And good luck in the future. It does not include being a nun. So he takes off, and she's like, yeah, well, whatever. But she gets to she's riding in the limousine and in her thoughts, and she's going to the Airbnb to chill and get out of those nun clothes. And it turns out Sister Josephine is smoking hot. Sister Josephine is like, taking a shower, and she's just like, oh, well, I'll do something. And then there was an occurrence that I want to give too much of away, where there's another encounter with both a man and the demon, and it shapes her, I guess, her future going forward. This is good. It's definitely a deserving penultimate book from Jeremy Robinson and Tiago Palma. Excommunicated, man. I don't know if it got as much, I guess, shine, for lack of a better word, as say the Butterfly book did, Nectar. But it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, you see that laying around? Check it out. And that is your What's Good for this evening. All right, so let's move on to next week's comics. Next week's comics, a lot of good stuff. On my curated list of 11 books to be looking out for next week. And the top of that list is the book that I thought was already out because I wasn't paying attention. And that is Exquisite Corpses. Exquisite Corpses, number 13, that lucky 13. The Baker's Dozen. "12 killers were dropped into Oak Valley on Halloween night to determine the fate of this country. Now, dawn breaks and winner takes all as the final battle draws to a close. Who will survive, or what will be left of them? The first season of the breakout horror phenomenon concludes with blood and glory from multiple Eisner Award winner James Tynion IV and Eisner Award nominee Michael Walsh." So that's all you need to know, because this is an amazing book. It has been amazing to this point, and I wouldn't expect anything to change. And if you're reading it, and some of y'all out there who are reading it, I don't know if you, I know some of y'all out there might be reading it, but there was a big twist at the end of last issue of issue number 12, where some stuff happened where I thought, okay, well, this character is probably going to be the winner because this character's been like highly touted the whole time, Turns out, maybe not so much. So that's all I have to say about that. But nice curve thrown in there, James T. Was this one? This is the David Romero 1 in 25 variant. That looks pretty cool. That's chess pieces. Very nice. Very nice. What else? Casper Wingard is pretty nice too. It's just an open order book. Yeah, of course. Bird City. Shout out Bird City. Yeah, it's as much as the the fox head killer was Todd Baker, she's just the most photogenic. That's the one that they show almost in all the one. You'd think she'd be the winner, but it's not a guarantee. Not a guarantee at all. Captain Electric, the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Shattered Masks. What's this one here? This is like pretty nice. Oh, this is Big Clutch, Pete Carroll version. Those Pete Carroll books look pretty nice. Look, it's like everybody's dead on this one. Let's see, yeah, they're all like trophies. Yeah, that's pretty clever. They all got it in the end. Yeah, that's a brutal cover. But then even Roscoe Randy gets a giant knife in his giant head. Yeah, I would get that one if it wasn't like $20. I'm trying to get rid of books, not get more. All right, so that's good. All right, coming on down the list to the next one, which is going to be Escape's coming back, number 7. Okay. And Corpse Night, number 2. Corpse Night was okay. It's pretty much, the whole gist of it was given in the description. Girl's father comes back to life and avenges things. That's pretty much what it is, but it didn't disappoint. That's what it did. I said I was gonna do that, and that's what happened. Pearl the Brutal Dark, number 4 from DC. That's probably good. And Capes, number 7. Oh, I didn't talk about Capes. How could I forget about Capes? Okay. 12 books. 12 books. Count them. 12 books on this curated list. All right, let's go to Capes real quick because I got to talk about Capes. This is Capes number 7. Capes number 7 is the first of new material. I can get this thing to work. I'm all spinning. Am I still spinning? Am I still frozen? Are you on the air still? This thing on? All right. Legal Comic Geeks connection time. Not what you talking about. What you talking about? All right. Try it again. One more time. Sometimes shit just doesn't work. It doesn't want me to talk about Capes. Some conspiracy. Well, maybe I just click on the link instead. That's weird. Maybe it's a booby trap. Wow, just like spinning. It's like almost 7:30 our time. This is the time of the day when most people are on the air. Yeah. You getting that too, huh? Oh, wow. That's insane. Let's try it again. Wow, still not going through. That is crazy. Crazy. Wow. You comic geeks still not coming through. Try to refresh it one more time. Well, it doesn't work. I'll try this one. Let's try to share this tab instead. Okay, so I can still see the Twisted Corpses, but let's try to change pages here. I think I'm being sabotaged. Oh, well. Wow, that timing is timed out. They're both timed out. That is insane. Can anybody still hear me? am I just talking to myself here? That's crazy. That should not be. I tried to refresh 2 different tabs. I'm afraid to change this one because this is the one that I'm actually on. Let's try to refresh it again. League of Comic Geeks host error. Cloudflare working, browser working. You see how? Oh, so the League of Comic Geeks maybe is taking a shit. That's unfortunate. If you're a visitor of this website, please try again in a few minutes. If you're the owner of this website, it sucks to be you. Contact your hosting provider and let them know your web server is not completing requests. Oh, of all the times to do it, I'm doing my show. Nobody else's shit went out. Yeah, it's just the League of Comic Geek site, which is unfortunate because that's where everything is. I can just talk to you about the books that I picked out and won't be able to see them. Yeah. So, Capes, number 7, as I mentioned before, is to be the first appearance of this character called what was her name? Elemental. Elemental is I know, man. The somebody pulled the plug on the website. It's just like, I could try some other way to come back. Man, let me see. It's hard to believe. Let's try it again. All right. Nothing on my sleeve. Presto. Spinning, 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 spinning. Error code 522. Question 67 and 68. Wow. Did not come back that time. Try this one. I refreshed that. Well, that probably doesn't make a difference which tab I'm refreshing. I'm just twiddling my thumbs at this point. Spinning, spinning. This is when I used to download in the beginning when I started doing this list, I would just download the JPEGs and just talk about the books and not rely on the site. But the site has been pretty reliable to this point. It's still down though. It's still down. Is there any other site that has this kind of stuff on it? I don't know. Yes, it's not me, but it doesn't help the fact that I've got about 11 more books to talk about. We not even scratched the surface. It'll probably go right back online about 9 o'clock Pacific time. We're all like watching other things. We're having dinner. Let me see what I can find. Something else here. I don't know what else could be a place like. Let me think. Who else has stuff like League of Comic Geeks? Previews. Oh. Let's try that. Previews. Oh no, not Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. No, not that preview. That's the only previews in the world. InsidePreviews.com. Previews World. Previews World. There we go. Previews World. New releases. New this week. New releases archive. They don't do the future though. That's the problem. They do this week and last week. See, this League of Geeks is so perfect for having all that, except when they go offline. Oh my dear God! I mean, somebody the monkey kicked the kicked the quarter out of the wall or something. All right, so it looks like maybe this is back now. To figure out how to get back to the other place. So, wow. All right, so if there's anybody out there still listening, Capes number 7 is the first new content of this series in quite some time. New story arc. All new Invincible Universe stories start here. The acclaimed team, Benito Serrano and Mark Englert, introduced the biggest mission in Capes history. With Invincible off-planet fighting the Viltrumite War and the new Guardians of the Globe battling the Order and probably being eliminated one at a time again, now is the time for Capes Inc. to become the face of superpowered crime fighting. But has Bolt already made the one mistake that could doom Capes? Bolt is the guy that's, I think he's the one that's the married family man. That's who that is. Plus, the first appearance of Elemental, an all-new Invincible Universe character from the soon-to-be hit Invincible VS game. In the first chapter of new backup stories by Invincible creator Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker. There it is. There it freaking is. This is the cover B, Connor Hughes. Some other good ones there. This is the one. This is the one I thought was the one to order, and I ordered this one as well because I like Sweeney Boo's work, and Elemental is making a cameo. She does on all of them actually. I think this is a real nice Sweeney Boo cover. I forget the name of this character here too. Maybe she's new as well. But this is the Elemental cover, the Corey Walker variant. This is Elemental herself. I love these names. Elemental, Adam Eve, Rexplode. A lot of good names. Yep. So I got that one coming. Elemental will probably be a big bomb. Oh well. There's a round table Kevin Talabayo foil version here of Elemental. Oh, this is a round table. Okay, round table. I guess there's a run of 1,000, unfortunately. So who knows how much that costs. It's kind of cool. All right, so Elemental. That's what I want to talk about before the channel went off the air. All right, so let's get back to the new comics. We can get there. All right, moving down the list. That one surprise there. Just past Capes. Oh yeah, Pharaoh is the one I wanted to just swing by for a second. It's like an hour ago, where we were so rudely interrupted. Pharaoh number 23. See, this, I love that this is still around, but I just can't, I just hate, I've talked about before how I just can't do it. Animals that get hurt, especially cats, I just can't, I just can't, I don't know. I just can't. I love these guys that still make it. Maybe I'll be able to read at some point down the road, read the trades. Elise and the cats must pull off a jailbreak from the CDC, but it's way harder than they thought. And do they even want to escape if there's a human serial killer roaming the halls? Plus, someone needs to rescue Moosh before he's put down. That's what I'm talking about. Poor Moosh. And then there's Chris Forstner, Tony Fleeks, Tone Rodriguez doing the cover on this one. And this is, I guess, the homage cover here to Rosemary's Baby. This is Rosemary's Baby, if any of y'all old enough to remember that. And I remember a Gen Xer walked into the comic shop today, and me and Frank broke our brain when we started talking about Frank Zappa. Like, who is that? Who is that? That's from you people are making my brain hurt. This is someone that's not a influence in the current day, so we don't know who the hell that could be. So yeah, I'm sure nobody knows who the hell Rosemary's Baby is. So, but that's the homage to that cover. So there you go. But good on you guys for doing this book. I think it's cool. I did read the first few issues of it. All right, now back to our countdown, and the books are already scheduled on the list. The next is going to be Red Roots. Red Roots. Red Roots is a one-man project from Lorenzo De Felici. The first one ran the whole story is going to be this, like two different stories running concurrently. Running simultaneously. Concurrently is the same thing as simultaneously. But Kate's day and what little remains of the killer's life take an unexpected nightmarish turn. And this is the simplest. This is just like, he's doing a great job telling this story and drawing this book, but he's not one for messing around with long, lengthy descriptions. I have to give him credit for that. And he gets right to the point. The book is a good, quick read. Now we have dinosaurs. I'm so confused. Well, you know what? Just go with it, man. Just go with it. Everything I found about this gets me more excited. That's what I'm talking about. Just go with it. I mean, because the way that the story breaks down, like what's happening, it doesn't really make sense in some ways, but it's beautifully done and it's a fast-moving story. So I'm just going with it. So I think you should too. So there you go. But your mileage may vary. Moving on to the next one, which is Fireborn. I have not had a chance to read Fireborn #1 yet, which normally, I have done by now. If I wasn't getting like all these damn books every month, I probably would have. Fireborn #2. New York City, NYC versus Fireborn. Following the incendiary events of issue 1, Aaron is brought in for questioning by the NYPD. Meanwhile, even bigger threats from the world beneath converge upon the city with the aims of claiming the dragon egg from Aaron. I gotta get this story, man. Hope arises in the form of an unlikely new ally. The smash hit fantasy superhero fusion continues here. Plus, Jimmy Hague and Lucia Casalanguilla bring us the first solo tale of Lost Fantasy's antagonist, Edge. The last living dragon of Braxis will be found. This sounds like some fun stuff is going on here. I need to read this book. You miss out on something. I just found out one thing, that this dude, Franklin Jones, Franklin Jonas is, I should say, is the youngest member of the Jonas Brothers, not the group, but of that family. He's a Jonas brother. You know, he's a comic book writer. So, fun fact. There you go. All right, so Fireborn is a thing, and we should be reading it. At least so they say that we should be reading it. So, oh, am I still freezing? I'm probably still freezing. Too bad Phil's not here to do lip syncing for me. All right. Coming down this list. The next one's right next to it here, and that is Seasons number 10. Seasons is back. Seasons is an amazing book. And last we checked on Seasons, Winter Seasons, the Goth sister, pictured on the cover here, has seized control. The season of winter is upon us, a time when taste is law and the art gallery is her proving ground. Spring slips into this velvet-gloved fascist fashionista den to shake free of the avant-gardesmanship grip. But her own choices prove to be the greatest threat. Yeah. Winter Seasons is like a emo goth on steroids, and person who should never have power. She is one of those people that should definitely not have power because she's all the sisters except Spring actually are kind of questionable. Autumn is okay, but she's kind of flighty. But Spring is pretty much the mainstay of this group here. When the cover is so good, it makes you want to tap back into the book. Yeah, you should. I think you should tap back in because it took a sabbatical for a little while at number 9, and now it's back. I would, if I were you. Okay, close that page, make some room here. Hope they don't crash again. And the next thing is, guess what? The Hab Atat. If you're not reading the Hab, why are you not reading the Hab? This is a good bad idea book. The walls of the Hab are closing in. The next bloody chapter of Eisner-nominated writer Joshua Dysart's and Eisner Award-winning artist David Lapham and Bill Sienkiewicz's groundbreaking horror tour de force. Nowhere to run, trapped inside their would-be refuge and cut off from a dying world, Tuttle Barrows and his hand-picked survivors struggle to maintain their grip on sanity even as they are gripped by sudden and horrifying hallucinations. Soon, scars from the past are violently gouged open, and revelatory memories long buried begin to spill out, clawing their way into the Hab's macabre new reality. Resident physician Dr. Faruqi struggles to contain the spreading madness as something continues savagely dispatching the remaining crew one by one. Now, the only hope for survival lies in unlocking the ancient cave buried deep beneath the Hab to uncover the secret that will keep them alive or end them forever. Man, that's a hell of a choice. All right, this is a damn good book. This is the Sarah summary. It was a issue number 1 cover, very much like this too. This is called the Lost Text variant. They're going to have one of those for every issue, I guess. And there's a David Lapham open order book that you could have. And this pixelated baby right here looks like something dirty is happening. This is by it's a 1 in 20 by Flops. And there's Flops right there. No face. Just like this. Flops. And then there is the 1 in 50 John, 1 in 50 John Pearson variant, which looks like swirling nut sacks on an antenna or something. I don't know what that is about right there, but there it is. That's probably the thing that's down in the, that's down in the, very deep down in the cave. I don't know. And that's the case, you should run from them. Run, run, unless you get teabagged by this thing. All right, so next is after the Hab. Oh, after the Hab is the book we just talked about, In Your Skin. To have this real childish retort we would make when about In Your Skin. I'll spare you from it, but this is what makes me think of Aisha Sin. Aisha Sin feels trapped in her own skin, an aging actress in a youth-obsessed Bollywood culture. She can feel the control of her life slipping away, but when an obsessed fan lands on her trailer's doorstep, she'll find herself free of her old body. See? Is this just a new prison or a chance at a new start? See, I don't know what the hell happened in that issue. You know, it seemed like I mean, this is going to be some kind of thing like maybe like I Breathe the Body. If y'all remember that series from years ago, which you probably don't. That was probably only a few people that bought that book from from the now defunct Aftershock, I think was the publisher on that one. That was a good book, and this was this is kind of body horror stuff here in some ways, but it's also kind of I guess an essay on super fandom and just like, you know, people being possessed and obsessed with celebrity culture, which is a problem for America. All right, so damn, I just did a what's good on that, so you already know what time that is. So jump on In Your Skin as well as the next book on the list here. And there's Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre number 4. You know about that, you know. Is Ted okay? Is Ted okay number 4? I gotta read number 3, I think. I've ever read number 3. I'm still, you get behind on stuff that you even like. It's just so difficult sometimes to stay up with stuff if, in this kind of a thing, but it's gonna get easier and easier. Riding in the van of their new friend, Dr. Christina Pagani, Ted and Sarah are on the run from an army of mechs, courtesy of Einstein. How rude. Don't they know that Ted is experiencing a major crisis of identity? After all, given the conclusion of the previous chapter, Ted wonders if he is even human at all. Meanwhile, Noah, trademark, unveils the shocking truth about the dome. Does the trillionaire want to lead humanity or enslave it? Well, what would you do if you had $1 trillion? First of all, I would never have $1 trillion. That just would never happen to me unless I inherited it. I don't know. Discuss among yourselves. That's a new topic. What would you do if you had $1 trillion? Is Ted okay? They have some really great covers for this book too, man. And on one cover, that's all you need. That's Dave Chisholm does everything. He does all the covers. He's writing it and he's drawing it. So it's another reason that I love this book. That this is just such an amazing book, and it's a single artist, and it's been incredible. Is Ted okay? I doubt sincerely if he is. Will we ever be okay again? That's a good question. All right, coming on down this list. I'm not frozen. Well, I got unfrozen for a while. That's what happened. I flipped the script. So there you go. I'm unfrozen again. I'm probably back to being frozen right now, but that's okay. Next on the list. Oh yeah. Okay. Next on the list, another Berserker series, Light Draws Breath. Now I would look at that one, but there's been so many Berserker series. You know, Keanu was cool and everything, but enough with the Berserker stuff already, please. Love you, Keanu, but enough with the Berserker stuff. But Hamana. Where were we going with this? Oh yeah, Spirit of the Shadows, number 5. That's what we're talking about now. This is a book I had a lot of trouble getting in the first place. Finally got a second printing, like I did with the 51 book, which you just saw too. 51 is an amazing book. The Dead Man's Party is Over. Mega talent. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Almost forgot. The Dead Man's Party is Over. Mega talent Nick Cagnetti, ably abetted by co-creator Daniel Ziegler, unleashed a hyperkinetic, soul-shaking finale to the series Comic B calls a distinct take on gothic horror. You can say that. It's a very colorful take, too. With the conflict seemingly resolved, not evolved at all. With the conflict seemingly resolved, Eric LaRoe, the spirit of the shadows himself, must finally face judgment in the hereafter for the terrible crimes he committed in the land of the living. Will he be granted entry into the sacred realm and a long-awaited reunion with his beloved Katrina, or will he be cast out, a rejected revenant doomed to wander the spirit world forever? Redemption or damnation, love or oblivion? Only one final verdict. You won't want to miss the haunting conclusion to the year's best horror sensation. Daniel Ziegler, Nick Cagnetti, there they are. If this comic continue, it's probably a limited series. Sorry about that, it won't. This is a cover by A.J. Jothakammer. Yes, I did say that correctly. Very cool. It looks kind of like Mitch O'Connell, who used to do like fashion stuff back in the 90s, I want to say, or 80s, 90s. It's got that style. Huh. Very cool. And this is, of course, the 1 in 10 Cagnetti Virgin variant, which is the A cover with just, the Virgin treatment. The Virgin treatment. Okay. Well, despite having glitches along the way, no fault of mine this time, thank goodness, we finally come to the time of the penultimate book. So let's get the penultimate book underway right now. Hey. It is that time for the penultimate book. And hey, crazy ass Larry, what's happening, man? I'm just shouting you out earlier. I'm two-fisted tea drinking today, man. Both of them are matcha. So cheers. Oh. I'm like a good So today's penultimate book is called Did You Hear About Mimi Green? Is that okay? I love the books that ended the question. That's just so awesome. Like, are you all right? All right. Did you hear about Mimi Green? And you know what? Gosh darn it. This is the saints be praised. We've been in the golden age of trailers. We've got like the last 2 or 3, I think, in a row have had trailers. So this one has a trailer. So let's take a look at that. Oh, wow. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Not just saying that because I picked it. All right. Tastemaker Mimi Green, a popular essay. Tastemaker Mimi Green is a popular essayist with a perfectly curated social media presence until a blog post she wrote a decade ago, cruelly mocking fat people, resurfaces and sparks a viral furor. Mimi checks into an isolated mental health facility in Topanga and to ride out the scandal. But as sound baths and crystal healings by day give way to restless nights, she's and gilded, and the vainglorious like Mimi and her fellow patients are punished again and again. Only local bartender Natalie, the lesbian lover Mimi hid from the public, stands a chance of tracking her down before it's too late. Connor Goldsmith, host of the critically acclaimed podcast Cerebro, makes his comics writing debut in collaboration with GLAAD award-winning artist Josh Cornelian, crafting a surreal and grisly take on the wellness industry, so-called cancel culture, body dysmorphia, and the complex power dynamic of show business. Wow, wow. Freakity wow, 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 wow. All right, so there's Rosemary Valero O'Connell variant. Mm-hmm. And the one I really like is the cover C, the Nick Robles variant. Yeah. This is the broken phone case is a pretty cool element there. I like that. So yeah, that's this man. I feel good about this one. I feel good about this. This is this person's first time writing a comic book. That is, I think it's going to be okay. I was going to say, did I win anybody over? I won myself over. I'm still going to be picking Penultimate books, even though I may not be buying all of them, but I will still be picking them up or picking them out, I should say. And maybe I'll even pick one up every once in a while, but who knows? But this one is definitely worth picking up, and that is your Penultimate book for this evening. All right, let's get on down to the last one. Get on down with your bad self. 51, number 3. I have read number 1. I know TN, you own number 3 or number 2. So between the two of us, we might be able to get number 3. I don't know. I might wait for the trade on all that since I only got like the second printing of 51 number 1. And since I'm also getting rid of books, not literally buying more. Coming on down, the final book of the evening. Ooh, I hope this is the one. I hope it's still here. Sometimes they're gone. I looked the night before and they'll be gone the next day. Exploit number 3. I've got number 1. Haven't read it yet. We'll see about that. The Life and Death of Lucas Dreamwalker. That's who is that by? That's by I forget who that artist or writer is, I should say. And it's E.L. Stein. And some people were like, this really sucked. It was like it was in a Hello Darkness. It was adopted from that or taken from that and put into a book. So to be honest, I don't know any R.L. Stein, work. I bought one R.L. Stein comic book and I was really disappointed. Like, so this is the guy people talk about a lot, or the person that people talk about a lot. It's just not for me. That's all. But I'm glad I didn't buy that one. The last one we're gonna look at, I can find Clip Nephilim was almost a thing too. Devil's Due Publishing, but I don't know. I decided to go in a different direction, obviously, because I think the Mimi Green one was a much better book, no matter what happened. And TN, do you know where I'm going with this? I hope you know where I'm going with this. You might be the only person that knows what I'm talking about when I do this. This is the book We're going to look at the last one. This is Space Riders. Space Riders, Vortex of Darkness. Now there's some history to this book. Black Mask. There's a lot going on here. Let's start with the obvious. Adios, pendejos. The riders infiltrate the palace of the mind of the mother of all evil gods. They hope to find her soul and put it to rest forever. A one-way trip to the deepest, darkest of a demonic mind. Hail Satan! Or Satan, where it's there's like an accent over there. It's pronounced differently. Not your father, Satan. Okay, Carlos Gifani and Alex Guerrero. I believe this is a continuation of a book that I bought years ago that had this really cool cover, and we talked about this, TN. Some of the people here said this was, I've been waiting for 4 years for this to come out. I've been waiting for years, I should say, for number 4 to come out. Is this really happening? Is this for real? Is it finally releasing? This is way back on February 27th of this year. Flash back to 2022, October 2021 even. Can't wait for this, so forth and so on. And this person in February of 2022 says, so the trade is listed as arriving in the stores months before the final issue of the mini. And what the person answered here is canceled by publisher, no communication from them. And this was on October of 2022. So I guess the point being, who was it? There's another good comment on here that I saw also. Let's see if I can find that one. No, not that one. I think it's kind of convoluted here, so please bear with me. Here we go. This person says, I have a friend who once described Black Mask as a company who, whenever they have some money, puts out some comics. So yeah, that sounds like almost every indie comics publisher person that exists. If we have some money, we're gonna put out some comics. I mean, that's just the gospel truth right there. Okay, so what I was going to try to find is like another older picture, or I should say some more pictures of this art, so you can understand how we are so excited about this book, because it has some really amazing art with mostly with black backgrounds and colorful colors like this, and it was just called Space Riders, and it was just like this not nonsensical, but it's kind of like a fantasy book that doesn't have a lot of plot, but it has like amazing artwork, and it's kind of like this. So this is the same book that we're talking about. I think TN Comics and I were talking about this the same thing too. Then this could be worth the wait, maybe. It's a $4.99 book, 32 pages. If it really comes out, it'd be a good day for a lot of people here. And the rest of you won't know what the hell we're talking about. So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if you don't know what we're talking about. But TN, I know you're out there. You're probably off to doing something else now. But if you see this, shout me out and let me know if this is the same book we were talking about, as far as we were looking at a few years ago, that we both discovered, that we both bought and we both loved. And that's the name of that tune. So that's it. That's it. Thanks for everybody who's watching now, or I should say, who's in the chat now, who was here earlier, who stopped in and said hi and is no longer here. And thanks to those who are watching on the replay, and those who sat and listened to my monologue about what's going to be happening in our lives pretty soon in the beginning. If not, catch the replay and do the and check out the opening chit chat. So that's the name of that tune. So we're talking more about it in the weeks to come as things happen. And until then, just gonna live life and day to day, and hopefully everything will work out for all of us. So God bless you guys. If you believe in that kind of thing, if not, hey, best wishes to you anyway. Love you all. Thank you for stopping by. God willing and the creek do not rise. We will be back again next week, and we can do the same little fun thing again that we're doing today and every time. Larry and others who missed the big start. Oh, big news at the opening. Yeah. Thank you. So that's it. That's going to do it for the night. And man, what can I say? Felix is knocked out. You're going to be knocked out pretty soon, I guess, after dinner and stuff like that. And you guys are probably already knocked out because it's late as hell on the East Coast. So thank you all for sticking with us. And peace and love. Peace and love. Be good. Take care of yourselves. Good night, everybody.
Denver! City by the Bay! John Denver!
Is a fire really necessary?
Ask them.